time for Behind the Short Line. I've got WPH pro and commentator Dave Fink. Now, it's not all the time that we get you on this little one-on-one situation because we're always kind of talking to you as you're commentating and talk about other people playing. It's kind of weird for you.
It is cool, but, you know, I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a lot of fun to be able to see you out there playing as well as commentating because I've always known you as kind of that person next to me, giving me tips, telling me about the guys, and then you've done so well lately, especially in the sport. Talk about this season for you.
Well, the season started off with me missing the first two events. I had a bad back, and really I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to play at all this season because my back was so bad. And, you know, I started playing a couple weeks before New Orleans, and I had a great tournament there. I played one of my best tournaments I've ever had. So, it was wonderful. It was a great surprise because I had no expectations going to New Orleans. I didn't even know if I'd be able to get through, you know, my first match. So I went all the way to the semifinals, and I kind of felt like this is great. You know, I'm in the season now. You know, I'm still have a chance to stay in the top 8, and you know, went to Houston and didn't do well at all there. You know, I lost in the first round, and then New York played pretty well and made the quarterfinals. And here, so far, so good in Salt Lake City.
You've seen a lot of guys come and go throughout this sport because you've been playing for many years here on the pro circuit, and then that happening in New Orleans for you after being injured, having to go through all that sort of stuff that you see young guys come in and not have to go through, to be able to tackle that and do so well. What did that mean to you?
Well, I was very emotional, you know, after the match, and it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot more than I thought it would, as a matter of fact. You know, like I said, I went there with no expectations, and I played really well, and I was kind of fortunate. I think my opponents didn't play that well. And, you know, my match wasn't that close in the quarterfinals, but after I was just overwhelmed with emotion, you know, so it was nice, and it motivated me because I felt like, you know, I'm pretty healthy now and I can start practicing again. So, you know, I'm really enjoying the season.
And what did that do for your self-confidence or even just proving to yourself? What did you prove to yourself?
Well, you know, the first two events that I missed, the US Open in Tucson, I was watching the guys and I felt like I'm never going to be out there with them again because, you know, I'm so injured, I can barely even tie my shoes, and these guys are out here running and diving and hitting it so hard, and I felt like that's over for me, you know, because at that point, for 2 months, you know, literally I couldn't even put on my shorts, hardly, and, you know, fortunately I was gradually started recovering, and I've been doing a lot of different stuff, acupuncture with my buddy Steve Torowitz, and chiropractic, and a lot of stretching, and just not trying to overdo it, you know, because I like to do a lot of different stuff that involves twisting, you know, with the golf and the tennis and the handball. So just decided to cut out the golf and tennis until the season's over. The handball season's over in Portland, which has been very challenging for me because, you know, I live in Tucson and the weather's beautiful and I want to be out there playing every day, but I've had enough discipline to this point to stay away from the tennis courts and the golf course, even though I miss it a lot.
And that's just it about you. It's not just handball. You're just a sports fanatic. Always have been. Started playing handball when you were how old?
3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same time for tennis and for golf and all the other ones?
Golf I didn't discover until I was about 13, and that was kind of a life-changing moment for me because I just fell in love with it, you know, from the very first shot I hit. And I've been obsessed with it ever since. It's been 25 years. You know, tennis, I started when I was young, but then I didn't play at all between the time I was about 12 and 20 and got really into it in college, and I've been playing, you know, 3 or 4 times a week for the last almost 20 years. So, yeah, I love all 3 of them. You know, I just wish, when I was younger, I used to play all 3 in the same day. Now I'm just doing one, and, you know, after Portland, I'll get back into hopefully both tennis and golf and take a little break from handball during the summer.
And I'm going to ask you to brag a little bit. I know as far as viewers go in handball, they see you out here on the courts, but you're a tremendous athlete. 2 hole-in-ones, right? On the golf course. I mean, people dream of that. What was more exciting, the hole-in-one or the semifinals?
I would say, unfortunately, the hole-in-ones, the first one came, I was playing by myself, and it was pretty dark at night. I hit a great shot, but I couldn't see the ball go in the hole. You know, so I get down there, it was almost sunset, and I'm looking around, and I thought, well, it's got to be on the green, you know, and it ended up it was in. And the second one I was playing with somebody
So wait, what did you do at that moment when you found the ball in the hole?
I took a picture, and I had...
Did you scream, or did you...
I mean, I didn't scream. I took a picture. I had a ball mark. The pitch mark was about 2 feet in front of the hole, and it was a wedge. It spun back a couple of feet and went in. The second one was actually a much better shot, and I was playing with somebody I didn't really know, unfortunately. I wish I was, you know, playing with one of my usual playing partners, but
You also wish there was like a car on that court, right there for you to win during some
Oh yeah,
scramble.
that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Had to do it when it didn't count, right?
Yeah. Right. The semifinal it's totally different kind of experience because that was something that, like I said, I guess I didn't expect a hole-in-one. Actually, when I'm playing golf, I think every shot I'm gonna hit is gonna go in. So I guess
that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
that's
no,
why you're
they
so
never
good,
do.
see?
No, I'm not though. But the semifinals in New Orleans was really, I think, one of the highlights I've had in handball. I've been to the semifinals a few times, but just to come in there and be able to play well like that was wonderful. I was so excited. Yeah.
Handball as a sport, you hear a lot of these guys talk about it because it's generational. For you, your father.
Yeah.
What has it meant for your relationship with him? Even as you start off when you're 3 and you go through the whole athletic part of growing up with a dad who's pushing you to do things, and then now that you're a dad yourself.
Yeah, we've gone through every possible kind of aspect of the relationship through handball. There's been times we didn't get along at all, when he was coaching or when we were playing each other, and then there are other times when we've really bonded over it, and now it's really nice because, I'm able to play and he comes and watches and he supports me, but he still makes me nervous. So sometimes when he's watching, I still feel like I'm 10 years old and I feel nervous because my dad's there, but really, he just wants me to do my best. So I shouldn't be nervous, but as an athlete, athletes are kind of nuts, and every little thing seems to distract you. So it's very cool, and we used to play together, for many years. I would play starting when I was 3 or 4 with him, and finally I was able to beat him when I was about 14. And, we were pretty competitive for about a year there, and then I kind of went past him, and we tried to play doubles together a few times, and that was a disaster. But it's cool because he does come to a lot of the stops, and he's a favorite of a lot of the pros. He's very popular here at these events, as you know. Yeah, it's very cool. So, it's really nice. Yeah.
And you now, as a dad, how do you feel like you're at all like him or trying not to be with your son?
Well, initially, I just wanted to let my son do, whatever he wanted to
what
do.
we all say as parents.
And now I feel like he's showing some real talent for tennis, my son. So I've already kind of laid out a game plan for us. We're going to start official training when he's 6. Right now it's just going to be more kind of introducing him to it, and he's doing some clinics. He's actually started tennis clinics, which I love to watch, and he's getting the timing of the ball bouncing and him hitting it. And my wife plays a lot of tennis as well, and I want it to be a family thing for us. And of course I want him to play golf with us and handball as well. So that's my goal. And he didn't take to soccer. We had him in the league in the winter, and that was like me. So I'm thinking, well, maybe he'll be like me and like golf and tennis and handball, I hope.
That's what I was going to ask you. You seem to be one of those people that can pick up anything. What's been the one thing that you cannot do and will probably never do again or try?
Really anything involving my feet. Soccer, skateboarding, ice skating. If there's not a ball involved, I can't do it at all.
Next time we're in New York, that's our next interview, is on the ice rink.
Yeah, I'll be holding on to the side.
Yeah, right. Suddenly you're doing like a triple axel, throwing me off.
Yeah, no. So yeah, anything without a ball involved, I don't do too well. And generally, a sport with the ball, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right.